Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to show you how to make your own Christmas crackers. Now these can be a gift box, they could also be the crackers because you can buy the little snaps that go inside and put your own jokes in there, party hats, things like that. But because of the width of this is an A4, so you get about 3 3/4 inches lengthways, and it's 2 inches high, so in diameter it's 2 inches. So you can get lipsticks, nail varnishes, all sorts of things, sweets in there, and it's just a really nice way to present your crackers, or alternatively have them on your table at Christmas, and you can decorate them how you want and use the papers that you want. Now this is an A4, you can make them with the 12 by 12 inch, and you can also do them with the US letter. So I'm going to show you an A4, and the measurements are going to be exactly the same no matter what you're using, what size. You just need to cut them all down, whichever the width is, be it 12 inches, 11, or this is A4, so it's just under 11 3/4. You're going to cut them all at 6.5 inches. So no matter what size you're doing, like I say, the measurements are going to be the same. So all you need to do is score one end or the other, it doesn't matter, at 1/2 inch. So it takes it down to 6. Now I've worked these out so that the mechanism closes nice and tight and things can't fall out of it. So follow these instructions because I spent a lot of time on getting this right for you. So really simple now. So whatever the width is that you've got, you need it to be at least the 11 though, or it'll be too small in the middle. 2, 3 and 4. That's all you're going to have to remember. 2, 3 and 4. Score it 2, 3 and 4. Spin it around and do the same thing. 2, 3 and 4. Now what I like to do, and I'm going to use a pen to show you guys how to do this, but I do little indents and I'll show you that in a minute before I take the board away. So what I'm going to do is just fold this in half this way, so you fold it back, and then this one comes forward like this, and make sure your sides are lined up, and then this one goes back like that. So you've got yourself like a little valley going on in there. Okay, so you're going to be working on this section, so you can see you've got a little closed up section there, and this is the section you're going to be working on, and cut all at the same time to make life simple. Now this is a 160 GSM card. I did try it with 250, it did work, but card, when you sort of like trying to make it bow, it does sometimes want to crack, so just test your card. So again, fold back the outside edge away from you, fold the next one in towards you, and then the next one away from you again. Okay, now you don't want to be putting lines on this that you can't rub out. I'm going to show you with a pen, but you really don't want to do that because it will show, so you need to use a pencil and rub it out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this over because I want to put pen marks so that I can see them in the same place. I'm going to be sort of like going backwards and forwards a little bit. Now you need to score this top one, so just fold one back, so you're on the wrong side and you're folding one back. Now you've got that little 1/2 inch there. If I was doing this round the other way, then I wouldn't have the 1/2 inch there, so we'll do it that way. But you're going to have to do both ends, but you can do the bottom as you're going along. So I've just folded back one section, so just that 2 inch section has been folded back. And then what I'm going to do is, I just dent. Now it's really important that you dent these at 1/2, 1, 1/2, 1. So you know, 1/2, 2, 1/2, 2, all the way along, every 1/2 inch basically. Now you won't be able to see what I'm doing if I just did that, so I'm going to mark it so that you can see. I'm not going to dent it at all, I'm just going to put little lines. Now you can do this with a pencil, so you can see that every 1/2 inch along there I am putting a little line. Now it doesn't have to be majorly accurate, it just means diamonds will be a nice shape when you open them up. Now I can put a mark there, but we've got a fold line there, so we know that's where it stopped. Now it's really important that you probably need to turn your card over, because when you're working on this section here that we're going to be doing, okay, so we're going to be working on a piece like this, so we need to see the lines on both sides. So make sure, with this one I folded it back and did that, and it will work again, but you need to make sure that you're folding it so you can see the lines on both. Now I am going to spin it around because I want my lines to be seen. Now I've got that 1/2 inch there, and then all I'm going to do is go between these lines, so it's going to be at 3/4. Okay, so you're just going to go at 3/4 and then 1/4, so you're going to be going over. Now I can see that that's out a little bit actually, so can you see that my 1/2 inch score that I did has come over a little bit? I don't know why that is. Maybe I didn't cut it to 6.5 exactly. That's probably what it was. So what you can do is you can do it from the bottom. So you can just use your scoreboard at the bottom and do it at 1/4 and then 3/4, 1/4 and 3/4. So basically you're going in between these lines here. So 1/4, 3/4, every 1/2 inch, but they're on the 1/4 and 3/4. So I've just gone along and done that. So what you've got is on the first one, you've got 1/2 inch marks, and then you start at 1/4 on the second one, which is the middle one that dips in. And you've got 1/2 inch marks along there, but you have to start at 1/2 here and 1/4 here, and that's really important, okay? Otherwise you'll end up with little slithers and they won't work and they'll probably break. So you just need to do the same at the other end, so we'll do that again. So every 1/2 inch, now because I've got that 1/2 inch there, I'm just going to leave it and start at 1 and then go 1/2 and then 2, 1/2, 3, 1/2, 4, 1/2, 5, 1/2, 6, and then we're going to fold that one over, but I want to turn it over because I want to be able to see the lines, so you do have to flip it. Do you understand that? Because if I did the lines there, when I'm working on it, I won't be able to see where they are. I need to visually see them on one strip, so that's why I'm flipping it. So now it's every 1/4, every 1/2 inch, but on the 1/4s and 3/4. It's still every 1/2 inch. You're just going to mark them all the way along like that, 1/4s and 3/4. Now you can just free fall and go for it and just do the shapes of diamonds that you want, but they may look a bit ugly. So if you want to measure, then that's the best way to do it. So you can see your measurements there. So we've got these little divots still in here, but I've also got marks on both sides. Now they would be pencil and rub them out, or they would be indents so that you don't see them anymore. Now I can remove my scoreboard because it might help with vision. And then all you're going to do is where you've got these folds here, we're going to cut those off just on this little section that we've marked. So just where that 1/2 inch fold is, we don't need them on these bits, okay? So we're just going to cut them away like so. And this one up here as well. So just fold it over and cut that out. And if I open it up, you'll see exactly what I've cut away. I've cut away that. Okay, so that's all I've done. Now while it's strong, it's a good idea, because this is going to be the wrong side, so it's a good idea on the right side to add your papers. Now I've not done anything particularly fancy here. I'm just going to add strips. So because these are 2 inch, I've gone for 1 3/4, so I've still got my pink border. So I'm just going to add a strip of paper that's 6.5 long, and then it's 1 3/4 wide. Honestly, what's wrong with me? So just going to pop that on using wet glue for speed. Pop that in there. And it's more important to get this edge nice, because you won't see that edge. It's going to disappear on that fold line, and we'll need to reinforce that fold line as well to make sure that they will fold. So I'll probably put a score line on it. I'm putting way too much glue on here. And then again, I'm just going to pop this over this side, make sure it goes up to the top more so than the bottom. If it overhangs the bottom, it doesn't matter, but you want the top to be nice and accurate and in the middle, so slide that along, which is why I love the wet glue. Just rub that down. And then again, the centerpiece, which is also 6.5, but measure what yours is. I'm not going to tell you the exact measurement, and just go down 1/4 inch, because obviously if you're using 12 by 12, this is 3 3/4, just under. So I've cut it down to just under 3.5. I'm just going to go up to there, and see how this doesn't match. Doesn't matter, because that's getting hid. You won't see that. It's actually getting permanently glued, so you won't see that at all. So let's just fold that up and just get that in, wipe off any wet glue all over my hands. So we've got that section going on there. So just here where these are, you'd need to, you know, you could do your papers and then do the score. I should probably get the scoreboard back. Makes sense, doesn't it, to do it properly? So I can just do a 1/2 inch score line down there, and the glue's wet. Obviously, Sarah always does things with wet glue and really shouldn't. So I'll try not to manipulate them. Oh, I will, won't I? You know me. I'm just going to fold them in so that they're definitely good to go. Like that. And I've got glue everywhere. Mucky pup. What a mucky pup. So now, flip it over. Look at that. It's a good job this is only, you know, a demo one. It's not even getting used. So, because I've got black lines all over it for a start. So what you're going to do is, it doesn't matter which end you start, but you start at the fold. So you're going to fold that section, so you've got those bits like that. Remember I said that's what we've made, that dip. So you just keep it closed, just 2 bits over, and you're going to start here. Now you're not going to cut right on the line. You're going to go slightly right of it and slightly left of it, otherwise it won't work. To the point up here you cut, but this fold line you don't. So you just come over just a little bit more away and just take it to that corner and snip it off. Now you've got to leave that, otherwise you won't have a shape. So we're going up to that point at the top and we're completely taking a triangle away. We're going to the point on both, but at the bottom we're not. We're leaving this gap. And what that will look like when you open is that. So if you don't leave a gap, it's just going to fall away and you'll have a separate piece of card. So it's got to have a gap. It's just a guide. Now what you can do is, when you've cut all these out on both sides, you could keep it as a template and just draw around it with a pencil. You can just take it and use it like that. So just coming over to the edge like this, just up to that point. So slightly right of the line and then slightly left, but to the top one. Okay, making sure that your fold's at the bottom and you're working away from you like this. And it just gives you more even. They're not 100%. They could be if I wanted to measure the bottom part on the fold, but I'm definitely not going to do that. That is just not worth the effort, in my opinion. I mean, each their own. If you want it to be exact, then go for it, by all means. So you can see now what you've done is that. Then we turn it over and we're going to do exactly the same, making sure that you've got this section, this and the first section turned over. You've got your lines. If your lines are on the other side, just flip it over and work on that. That's fine. You haven't gone wrong. And then it's the same thing. So you're going to start this side of that line and go up. Now you can see that's wonky, so I'm going to take it right up. Now make sure you're leaving a space here, but you can go up to that mark there. And like I say, I do it with indents so that I don't have any pencil lines to run out. Now see, I've gone really close to that point there. Make sure that the next one is away from it. That's all. Just don't do it on the point, or like I say, you'll have a hole and it won't work, and all your little gifts that you're giving will fall through. And then obviously you can make yourself a nice floral arrangement, work out what area you've got to go on, and then just make it, which is what I did. I made it separately and then just popped it on the top. So you can keep all these flat, you don't have to make them up, you can just batch make them. Then when you stick them together, pop your gifts in and it's good to go. And then the final one, just take that away like that. Might try and do that a little bit better. It makes sense, doesn't it? There, there's an edge one as well. So now what you've got is this shape. Okay, now these stay going in. If they don't want to go in, then you make them go in. Now all you need to do now is tie it up. So what I like to do, and glue it obviously. So what I like to do is use a thinner piece of ribbon to start with before I use my thick ribbon, because that would just hold everything in place for you. Now you can apply tape. I'll do that for speed. red liner tape and wet glue. Now I like to use a bit of both, so if I use a tape like this, so you're putting it on the right side, just on that little 1/2 inch. I did make them initially with a 1/4 of an inch, and I thought it's just too fiddly, so I'm just putting tape over the top there, and that's why you need your glue to be dry, because you need that paper underneath to be completely stuck to it. So what you do now is you just get this to roll. So the way of doing this I can't really show you because the camera's not set up, but if you've got a table edge, just get it gently and roll it along the table edge like this. Just get it to go. So just manipulate these, get it to roll. You don't want it, and this is where if you use card, it doesn't like rolling. So you can see I'm making the cracker shape. It's coming together okay. Bit a little wiggle. So you can see I've already arched it a little bit, yeah? So it's got a little bit of a curve going on. So we'll just continue with that. And like I say, if you're using tape like this, I'll get it off now because the glue's wet underneath. There we go. If you're using tape like this, then what I also do is I take a little bit of glue. It's coming in, a bit of wet glue. And I would also put glue either side of it, like that, right up to the lines to make sure that it's going to be stuck right to the lines. Now what you need to do is just pull this over and make sure they line up like that on that crease. I don't know if you can see that crease line, but it's there. So I want to make sure that they're on that crease line like that. And then just make it straight. Because I've put glue on there, it's wobbling around a bit. I won't put glue on the others, but what you would do, you see, is you could peg these now. So you just hold that in place, because you can do that. You just hold it in place like that, and you can see the black lines down through there. I'll show you in a minute properly when we've done this. So that's on there. I'm not going to use glue on the others. I'm just going to take off the tape on the end. You could do the middle first, the ends first, it doesn't matter. Whichever suits you, and you're just going to get that. See, that's where the line is that you need to go to. You just get that to go onto that line like that. And that's just got tape, so it might have a little bit of a gape there. That's why you like to use wet glue, because the tape doesn't go right up to the edge, because this is finger lift tape, so it's got an edge underneath it. It's not the whole width of this paper. So now the final one, you just get that, and that line is there. It's harder to see in black, so I'll fold it over. Just do this. You can push it together like this, it's fine. You can even squash it like that, as long as you open it back up. So then you can put your fingers inside. It's probably easier to do the middle first, actually, I've just decided. But you can squash that and then squash it back in the other way as well. So now we've got our tubular cracker shape, and you can see what happens is you squash these in, look. Now the reason I've done them the size I have is so that they meet and nothing falls out, yeah? And if we had these ones here where this is the join, if they were the little slithers, they would break, split and everything. So you want to make sure that they're not. So you just push that in like that, and you can see that closes. But you can also see the little black lines. Hopefully you can pick that up. So that's why you have to rub them out, because you can see them, yeah? So all you do now is tie up one side first. So just, like I say, just use some skinny ribbon. Just get a tie on that. Don't know what I'm doing here. Going crazy. I'm not going to waste so much ribbon. So just give that a little tie. And you can cut the ends off. And you can tie it in a proper knot if you want. Or you can just leave it if you want it to be easy for the person who's receiving it to open. So we'll just do that just for now. And then what you would do now is pop your gift in this end. So it'll fold all the way down through. So you can see, like, I've got some nail varnish nearby. Probably have, no me. Bear with. You can easily put the nail varnish here, look. So you can easily pop nail varnish inside. There's loads of room in there. So you can put nail varnish, lipstick, anything like that. So it would make a really nice little set. And then once you've got that in, you tie up the other side. Like so, and it doesn't, like I say, it doesn't matter where it ends. Just tie it together. Nice and tight so nothing can fall out. snip off those ends like that. There you go, and you've got your beautiful cracker. You'd obviously add better ribbon. My channel is all about the know-how, so you know, now you can add your thicker ribbon because you've got that on. Let me cut it because I'll never tie a bow with that long. Just add some Christmassy ribbon if you've got it, it'd be nice. And then just make your bow. Now I like to put my bows away from me, like when you're tying your shoes, because the tails end up, it depends which way you want your tails to go, but if you put the bow away from you, then the tails will end up going outwards that way. If you want them to come in, see, they're going across that end a bit. If you want them to come in, then obviously you do it the other way, but that's how I tie mine. So there you go, you can see that we're coming together nicely, and then you decorate the top with whatever you like, or nothing, or just a label, anything like that. So thanks for watching, guys. I hope you liked the tutorial. Keep making your Christmas crackers, nice and easy and fun to do, and they look really nice. Thanks for subscribing. Bye now.